start the recording. We've all decided to do a 60-second introduction for each other. I will model that. My name is Dakota Kaiser. I am really, really passionate about technology, software intelligence applications, decentralized autonomous organizational protocols, and creating holonic hive mind consciousness constructs that are literally embodied by a bunch of people. I'm all about that. I'm here representing the Awakening Sovereignty Collective and the Tribe of Awakening Sovereignty, and super honored to be here. Michael, would you like to go next?
Sure. My name is Michael. I'm currently based in London. I represent astralship.org. We have a chapel from 1838, and we are getting ready for the Kickstarter. However, in the current economy, we are thinking about establishing our own currency. So there is a full energetic alignment, and I'm part of this call.
Thank you, Michael. We just got a phone call in. Would the phone 18607 like to introduce yourself? That's all right. Mohammed.
Definitely. Hi, my name is Mohammed Al Husseini. I'm very passionate about marketing and honestly anything that helps propel humankind's consciousness forward. I'm well versed in healing methods. I'm pretty good with marketing, and I'm really good with sales as well.
Super cool. Thank you, Mohammed. I heard the phone person speak for a second. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, who's this?
Hi, this is Amara Amethyst.
Hi, Amara.
Hi. Really excited to be here. I am in alignment with creating a new currency system, and I am a healer and priestess and aligned with the highest good of all. Blessed to be here. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Courtney, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I am also just really feeling the call and just so in alignment with the ASC and everything you guys are doing. I learned about it at Portal and met the whole soul family there and just so excited. I'm a healer as well, trying to get my herbal business off the ground and just want to support, not too tech savvy, but just have so much love in my heart and want to hold space to facilitate. And I do mediator work for communication and just want to hold space here to be here for the project. So yeah, sending love to all you guys. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Courtney. And Cyric, is that how I say your name?
Cyric, yes. Or it's Christopher as well. Either works.
Cool.
Well, I don't know. I am involved in a lot of different spheres. It was tech for a while. I've been programming since I was 7. I was going to RIT for information technology, but recently I've been exploring a lot of different spiritual paths, alchemy, and there's been a lot of non-dualistic philosophy that I've been focused on recently. And in that, there's been this couple experiences that have led me then to groups such as this that are working towards bringing about a shift in the collective consciousness as well as within ourselves, so that we're able to participate at a level of awareness and consciousness that would be considered more of a cosmic level. So my goal is to get the human collective to the point where we are operating as a single harmonious organism, so that we can start then communicating at a galactic level or cosmic level as a unified being, while still remaining individuals, differentiated, but recognizing more that we are here as a unified organism, and that what one of us does affects every other part of it. Beautiful. Very well put, Cyric. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here. We had one other person connect by call. Would that person like to chime in and introduce themselves now?
Yeah, hi, my name is Star McKinnon.
Hi, Star.
Hey, Dakota. I apologize. I'm losing my voice, so I sound a little bit hoarse. But I have been involved in multiple different humanitarian organizations that are leading the shift into the new paradigm, including Ubuntu Planet USA, the Conscious Media Coalition, Collective Evolution. We've been working with ASC since almost their initiation or inception. I'm very excited about the possibility of a cryptocurrency. I think that that is a step in the direction of moving towards, you know, a decentralized type of monetary system. I think ultimately it's better to not have any type of monetary system, but I think that this is moving humanity in the right direction, and I'm honored to be a part of something that is very conscious of the end result, which is freedom for humanity. So thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this.
Beautifully put, Star. Super glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. Teo, what's up, my brother? Would you like to go next? 60-second introduction.
All right.
You're kind of phasing up a little bit, Teo. Can some people cut off their video? Might make it easier on them. We're getting into 10 people in the talk now, so it can kind of slow down the internet. Teo, you want to try talking again?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep, working now. What's up, brother?
Hello. I'm a little internet this morning, but my name is Teo, and introduction, I work for Power of Life Society, engaged in church law, engaged in creating sovereign legal spaces through which new paradigm technology can be brought into the world in a safe, protected vessel that's also grounded in the current laws of the land, as well as in alignment with our own spiritual code that we live by, in alignment with our spirit and the laws of the land brought together through basically freedom of religion and the separation of church and state. Those two dynamics working together are one of the most powerful tools we have to empower ourselves in the society that we currently live, and to facilitate bringing through our creative passion, our vision, solutions for the world in a way that is in a higher octave of integrity, both legally and spiritually. So I'm really excited about the cryptocurrency happening in the world. It's blossoming. Been getting calls from people about other things in the crypto sphere, and I'm just really excited to jump in with y'all because it's not something I'm super knowledgeable about.
Cool, Teo. That's I love how you talk about the old system and using church law to work with it instead of against it. Freaking brilliant, my brother. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. We got more people pouring in. Heads up, everybody. We are right now doing 60-second introductions. And up next, we have I Am Rich. What's up, brother?
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of this. One of my gifts here today is I unlock certain frequencies within my vessel to be able to hold space and allow certain energies to come through when we're channeling information. So one of my biggest guidance is to hold space and be present. I'm very open, and I could share insights if there's specific questions of whatever higher guidance, or even as a vessel, allowing anything to flow through me to allow the highest, purest information to be channeled through for the greater good of all. Thank you.
Beautiful, Rich. Glad to have another seer on board, or a wizard, whatever you want to call yourself. But energy is very real, and people that are really focused on that energetic channel are very useful in large-scale organizational collaboration. So thanks for being here, my brother. Let's go to, I think next is Infinite Love and Motion, or Aaron.
Actually, it's Brittany.
Oh, what's up?
Hey.
Hi,
Yeah.
Brittany.
Hey. Yeah, so I'm super excited because I just feel like
yeah, if we start tapping into these technologies that are going to really help us tap into our natural prosperity that is already ours, and really help tip the scales from what is currently kind of taking place on a collective level on the planet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to work together on creating these prosperous systems, and that's about all I have to say.
Beautiful introduction. I'm glad you made it, Brittany.
Thanks.
And then I think next we have Aeon.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Aeon. Good to see you and hear you.
Unfortunately, my camera is having technical difficulties, so hopefully everybody knows what I look like. Yeah, so I'm here with a real quick introduction to just basically, as far as currency is concerned, I see that diversifying our currency with cryptocurrencies and other forms of exchange is crucial. Time exchange, value exchange is a part of our, past and future, present. And learning how to bridge the gap between the old currencies that are basically killing the planet and the new currencies that are going to uplift us all is what I'm here to help do, and to bridge that gap in a way that makes it comfortable for everyone to grok it simply, and to be able to understand how they can play with, whether it's their time or their petrodollars or whatever it is that they're bringing to the table. And it's really, there's many of you on here that I've known for years, and really finding out how we can weave this into our community building, because currency is just part of it. What we really want to be building is prosperity plans that are tied to lands, that have communities that are interweaving in them and weaving out of them constantly, so that everybody can learn and grow together.
Ah, so beautifully put, Aeon. Love the way you say that. Thank you. Leela, are you there?
Hi, Dakota. Hey, everyone. I just wanted to listen for as long as I can. I'm going to have to jump off the call. But I'm Leela Starr, and I'm just really excited for this moment and happy that we're all here together, feeling that this is like a necessary step forward, like a leverage point to harness all of our energies and to harness all of our energies in a way that's really real on the big stage. And I'm just excited. I've been trading cryptocurrency and just been informing myself in the whole sphere of this, and this is real. This is now. So thank you everyone for showing up and participating. Much love.
Chai I'd like to bring awareness to the fact that there are 13 people in this chat room right now, and that is a very, very powerful number for starting organizations. So cool. The next point I would like to get into is a shared agreement of me being the facilitator for this current meeting. If there's anyone who is opposed to my facilitation, please speak up now. Great, sweet. Glad we can all agree on that. Another thing I'd like to suggest is that when you're talking, please turn your video back on, and otherwise keep it off so we can keep our bandwidth down. So we may not have time today, but there are 8 agreements that I would like to walk away with everyone here. So the first agreement we just made, and that's me facilitating this meeting. The second agreement is, if we can't all fully agree on something, I propose we do -1 speed round voting. So the way that works is, say one person had disagreed with me being facilitator. We would have closed that round and we would have talked about it for a second, and then we would have voted again. And then if that next round, if 12 out of 13 people agreed to have me as facilitator, that's what we would do. However, if instead 2 people disagreed at that point, we would have another round. And then at the next point, the threshold would be 10 people, and then 9 people, and then 8 people. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep.
Ahoy.
Cool. Yes. And do we have a consensus on using that method of decision making for this meeting? Yeah? Any opposed?
No.
Great. Second agreement. Easy and smooth. Okay, so The third agreement is a little more vague. I just kind of wanted to share the whole scope of the mission and the vision from how I see it, and then we could also open up, a couple minutes from each person, or for a couple people that want to talk about like what is it that we're like really doing here, and kind of some of the gravitational points. Is there any opposed to that being the next matter of discussion? Perfect. So we've all read the documentation. There's a couple of things I'd like to add to these concepts. So first concept, it's like bankers became some of the most wealthy people on the planet by being able to print their own currency and having other people value it. And I think we can become just as wealthy by doing the same thing. And what it really all comes down to is everyone asks this, what can I exchange this currency for? Like, why do I want it? What's the immediate exchange? So that's where I'm thinking that reaching out to all of the people, all of the communities, all of the businesses, all of the landowners, and offering them an initial sum of tokens to play and receive our currency. And then the way we distribute the currency, everyone gets to decide. So if you choose to accept this currency and use it, you now have a vote in how all of the currency is distributed. And that is one particular aspect that makes us unique from every other currency out there right now, is that we, the people, actually vote on how new currency is distributed, rather than some small elite group getting to choose that for us. Some talk about the numbers. So if we do a $100 million full, or 100 million token full launch, and our currency is only worth $1, we just created $100 million worth of value and distributed it. If we end up being worth more like $10, we just made $1 billion worth of value. Something I would like to practice is I would like to sell some of our tokens for cash, starting at a rate of $1 a key. But as we sell more and more, increase that rate until we're selling them at $4 a key during our soft launch, and then potentially higher for our hard launch. I'd like to accentuate that with taking some of the money that we make from selling the keys and putting it into a fund that's designed to buy keys that are underneath market standard rate. So say someone gets our keys, they don't want any of our services, and they just want to sell them. Well, we'll buy them back from them, at like, 10%, 20% lower than what we're selling them at. And so basically the name of the game is how can we distribute our keys, to people who aren't going to sell all of them. And if we do that, and we find a lot of people who are like, wow, I really want these keys, and these keys are more valuable than dollars, then our currency will be worth a tremendous amount of money. That's kind of like the general overall picture. I think like a Q&A or suggestions, we can just open it up to that for now. Let's say 2-minute rounds if you'd like to speak. And feel free, there should be a raise your hand module here somewhere. I'm actually not seeing it right now, but who would like to go next?
Well, okay, so I have a lot of questions coming into this based on my current amount of knowledge of I'm not I didn't go to college or anything to study economics or anything like that, but I mean it's just from what I have to gather through my own research and knowledge gathering about
Will you turn your video on while you're speaking?
Sure. So the way that money works and the way that these cryptocurrencies work, I think one thing that we should probably move towards as a group is really informing ourselves of the underlying patterns of how cryptocurrencies work, how the current fiat currencies function, how just get a general background information on this, so going forward we understand what it is we're actually working with. And I think that is important, to have a clear conceptual picture of what it is we're actually doing. So I'm not sure how that might.
Can Tao mute if that's okay? Just because it's creating a little bit of disharmony.
Got it. Continue, Sarah.
Okay, so sorry, where was I? So the background information about how the cryptocurrency functions, and then what the adoption rate. So we have the two major cryptocurrencies right now are
Heads up, 30 seconds left.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And so they have a certain amount of human interaction around them that has allowed that value to be what it is. You know, Bitcoin's currently valued around 2,000, it's above 2,000 USD. And so you know, that's bound to reverse at some point. It has in the past, and these trends keep going. And so I think that one of the things we should focus on first is really informing ourselves of how what is currently in place is working, and get a solid foundation of information that we can share, and so we can be on a common ground with that.
Thank you, Sirik. I'm happy to host another meeting sometime to talk about the technical specifications of this currency. Thank you. I see that Mohammed has his hand up. Go for it, Mohammed. 2 minutes.
Sure. I just wanted to. I couldn't hear you earlier a little bit clear. So I couldn't hear you clearly earlier. So I just wanted to say at this point, since we moved on from that present moment, that everything looks cool. I'd like to go on to the marketing, but I'd like to hear more so I can further explain. There's nothing more that I can say.
Thank you, Mohammed. Would anyone else like to interject a question here? Kind of what I'm going for, like specific questions you'd like to ask me for this specific stage, and then we can move on to the next part. We're all good? Perfect. So, yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about is what we're going to award our currency for and at what rates. So I'm going to do a screen share here. So I figured that we had 8 things that we're going to be awarding for. So first one is social media engagement. We'll be sharing our tokens initially for people that just post about us on social media. We'll set up a program for that. The next is we need a percentage for recruitment if we decide to do that. We need to pay our administrators to handle and receive orders and to actually literally distribute the currency. We've got to pay our technical staff to make a whole website look very snazzy. I want to give an initial sum of money to anyone who signs up in our consultant network to receive keys. I'd also like to give an initial sum to business owners, landowners, our marketing department, and then also finding sponsored organizations. I'll just recap on this for a second for those that didn't really fully check this out. I kind of drew up a rough outline of the general amount that we should send out for each of these different subcategories. And that's, so if we're doing 11 million for the soft launch, I figured that we should kind of release them like this. Just recap on this: 700,000 going to our consultant network, 300,000 to the social media people, 1 million to recruiters, managers, and skilled professionals. That includes like the coordinators, the technicians, and the recruitment people. 1 million for sale, 3 million specifically to the ASC, 3 million to allied organizations who are doing the good work on planet Earth that we want to sponsor, and then 2 million to land and business owners. So that's kind of just like the general outline I've laid out that we've all generally kind of agreed to. I would like to specifically talk about what we feel like the ranges are. So based on the idea that right now our keys are worth $1 each, that's what we're selling them for. That's what we're saying that they're worth. I think the easiest one to tackle right now is, so do we want to give a percentage to recruiters? And do we want to do that multiple tiers or not? Personally, I think that we should keep it 1 tier. The whole multi-tiered marketing thing turns so many people off and like makes them feel like it's all a Ponzi scam. I think we should just not do that. And I think a flat rate of between 5 to 7% seems good to me. Any thoughts on a percentage for recruitment? 1 minute rounds. Who'd like to go next?
So sorry, what do you mean by percent per recruitment?
So say, Mohammed, you come in and you earn 1,000 keys by working with us. You do some marketing work, you do some administration work, we pay you by the hour, you get 1,000 keys. Since you're here because of me, I then would get a percentage of those keys as your recruiter, which gives me an incentive to go out and rep this to the whole world. Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah, it does.
And is that
So,
I hear multiple voices wanting to talk. I think the first one was Aeon, who I see his hand up, and then the next voice will queue up.
so is that continuous or is that a one-time? So you bring him in and then you get 5% off of what he does for that first project round, what have you, or is that for everything he does from that point forward?
That's what we need to figure out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Maybe a larger percentage for like their initial buy-in. So say like you get a business owner in, you know, like a nice flat percentage for that. But kind of making money off of people's productivity over time kind of feels old, systemic.
I think that this is subject to a further discussion. This is a nitty-gritty detail. Now we have a ballpark estimate, and my genuine feeling, this is a subject for a very detailed, lengthy technical discussion. I suggest we have the ballpark estimates and we move on to another point.
Okay, sure. Let's so
as well as go through experience maybe. Well, as you said, a technical discussion. Sorry.
Okay, so I hear a proposal to move distribution award rates to another meeting to a sub-council. It is, I second that proposal. Is there anyone opposed to it? Great. Who would like to be on the council that assigns award rates? I would. Anyone else?
Initially, yeah, sure. I'd love to join it.
yes. Yes, I would.
Can we get everyone who would like to do that to sign up in the chat? Great. All right. Thank you for that, Michael. And so the next point is we need another council for our collective intake, processing, organization, and management system. I feel like that could be the same collective that assigns the award rates. Do we want to agree on that? Is there anyone opposed to that? The same council that will assign award rates and our intake and organizational process? It's kind of like metagamer tasks. Does that sound good? We're going to move forward with that. Cool. Done. Let's see.
Can you please share your screen, because I'm not sure if I can see it now.
My screen?
Yes, you are going through the docs about share distribution, and then there was another point. I think it was better with your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So the next agreement that I'd like to ask is I would like to issue all ASC resource shareholders a portion of our tokens. I would specifically like to issue up to 1,200 tokens to each person based on their shares held. So like for resource shareholders that have underneath 1,200 resource shares, we'll give them whatever the number is. But say if someone has 1,200 or more resource shares, we'll issue them 1,200 of our currency. And my reasoning for this is the ASC has done all of the groundwork for this project. So I would really like to see those that have given their time and energy with us over the last few years to be honored and awarded for that. I also think that it will inspire a lot of them to play with us, and there's a lot of really cool people in the ASC I would like to get involved. So my measure is I'm proposing is to issue up to 1,200 tokens to every ASC resource shareholder pretty much immediately. Is there anyone who is opposed to that?
I think that right now, how we distribute this tokens, currency, these keys, it first we need to know the technical foundation and the underlying economy. It's like planning what we are going to eat in the summer 2021. Like for me, it is way too early to think about it. Of course, we can make a beautiful presentation and let them know what we plan to do. But in reality, we We are now at 12 guys on a Zoom call and a Google Doc and some notes. We don't have a technical capacity right now. So rather than sharing these tokens and deciding what goes where, we should focus more on the foundation structure and the actual implementation. And then sharing is the most pleasurable thing of all.
Thank you for that, Michael. And so we got two people that are opposed to issuing the currency. I'd like to respond to that statement, Michael, and that I just feel like I have a greater understanding of what's actually happening over here, because you haven't been involved much over the last few months. So I understand why you have that perspective currently. But I think our technical team has actually got it. It's like already happening to me, and I'm like a little bit more focused on implementation because our technical specialists don't want to build out systems that aren't being used. Does that make sense? They don't want to work for free on another project that isn't going to get adopted. So the more people we have that actually sign in and start using the system, which is already fully functional, then the more inspired our technical team will be.
Okay, I didn't know that there is already something in place. I didn't have this knowledge. And if there is some actual structure, framework, code, implementation, smart contracts, some code written for implementation, then this is something that I didn't know. According to my knowledge, it was just us, 12 people on the call, and one page of notes in a Word document. But I didn't know about the technical team.
Cool. Now you do. And we'll be bringing those guys in at some point. They're just so busy. This is they're not very social either, most of them. But basically with using Google spreadsheets and forms right now in administrative time, our system is 100% functional. You can buy them, you can trade them, you can earn them, you can sell them. And I'd actually like to do a demo on it here soon. I think it's enough to get a core team of adopters using the system, and then we'll build it in so it's all super automatic and easy and doesn't require administration time.
I completely agree. Sorry if you don't mind.
Go for it.
One of the main things I really wanted to mention is that the law of flow. Internally, there should be some form of flow within the system, even if it wasn't worth anything, but just to create flow, even in energetic terms. That will help with the launch. If people tap into it, even intuitively or non-intuitively, and they feel the flow, they'll naturally get attracted to it.
You got it, Mohammed. I'd like to address a concern that Aeon posted in our chat. So Lila Star and Aeon are talking over here, talking about the cap, and Aeon is moving to have the tokens equal to one's shares. Aeon, I'd like to say to that eventually, yes, that would be the idea, is that we would issue one token for every resource share held. However, I don't want to flood the economy with too many shares. If we just issue 500,000 tokens to our ASC shareholders, it's unbalanced all of a sudden. So I'm saying just for now, we give people a wave of the currency, a portion of it, up to 1,200, so that way there's not too much currency flowing throughout the system. Does that make sense, Aeon?
That makes sense. And I would also move then that there be a percentage that is continuously dripped into those participants.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna propose that as well. So seconded. Let's see.
I do have another piece to add, if I may.
Go for it.
So another, just to honor what Muhammad was saying, I think that participation would be a way of being able to move those currencies. It's gamifying, basically. To sum it up, gamify it. If I read a page and it takes you 60 seconds to read that page and I read it in 30, then I earn a little bit more than you would for that page, those kind of things. And all building incentives, so we all will get a good, great return on our incentives.
Cool. Yeah, that's that we'll talk about that more in the when we have our asset distribution metagame council. We're closing in on a minute left. When we have not reached a vote conclusion on this particular proposal. So I'm going to shut this meeting down and I'm going to launch a new one and post the link and the call number into our chat. For For those that don't make it to the next one, thank you all so much for showing up. These videos will be recorded and posted in that chat room and in our Slack. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. And some of you I'll see in a minute or two, and some of you I'll see again soon. Ciao.